CNC Music Factory.
Everybody dance now!
Welcome to the Local Stage Podcast, sponsored exclusively by Shoemaker Guitar Works. I am Trevor Goodall.
I'm Thad Shoemaker.
Welcome. We have another very special guest this week. We are on a three-peat rock and roll adventure.
We are.
Thad, we're bringing people in your shop, having them come in here, and we're forcing guitars upon them, brother. Hurry up and buy something and get the hell out of here.
Hurry up and buy it.
On today's show,
Hurry up and buy it.
who do we have on today's show, Thad?
We got Dead Ginger.
Dead Ginger in the house! Dead Ginger, introduce yourself as your alias name.
Well, my name is Justin Kelly from Davenport, Iowa here. Term of Dead Ginger coming a little from the fact that there's dull red hair on the top of my head.
Dude, you can't downgrade yourself like that. It's not dull red hair.
We were just talking about this.
It's lavish.
Beautiful locks of gingerness,
The red
right?
is the red color of fury, man.
It used to be really bright.
Did you know why? The only reason why we had you on the show today is because today is National Ginger Day.
Oh.
Is it really?
No,
No.
no, it's not.
I'm like, man, there's a holiday for every day.
There
anymore.
is.
I can't keep up with it all.
The real reason why we had you on the show is because your music is very unique. I always describe you as like metal meets jazz music. Mm-hmm. I know everybody has their own opinion about it. It's like jazz music if it was a middle-aged pregnant woman who didn't stop smoking and drinking.
Oh.
So
I get it now.
Explain a little bit of the background behind your music, Justin.
Well, yeah, how do you bounce back from that, huh?
Yeah, I know. I thought about that today. I was like, I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to tell him that it describes that way.
You put it best, actually, honestly. I take that as a compliment.
All right. I knew you would.
Only the fact that, in the end, basically, it started off as kind of a practice more than anything, than a project. The idea was I was playing with bands, and I was at a phase where I wanted to get better. So I wanted to create things, and I had some help that was from a friend that gave me some guidance with some looper help.
Okay.
On playing on guitar, because I started playing on guitar when I was probably about, 10, 11?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
When I got my first guitar at a garage sale.
Adolescence.
Yeah, very adolescent stage, I wanted to be a rock star. Mom put me in front of MTV,
Right.
and it sold me.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, we're talking MTV when it was the real MTV.
When it was
Yeah.
the
When
Back
they
when they
played
actually
music
played
television,
music
when it was
videos.
music television.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Not when it was Sweet 16, What I Want.
Right. 16 and pregnant.
Yeah, there we go.
Peter Gabriel throwing it down,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So, no, Mom put me in front of that TV screen as a youth whenever she had to go do something. Who knows what that would have been, but taking care of mom duties.
Yeah, man.
And
Mommy duty.
so, she put me in front of TV. Genesis is one of my favorite bands of all time, and probably comes to the fact that they had some awesome music videos in the 80s.
For sure.
And growing older and listening
And
to
not to mention, Phil Collins is so damn talented. The guy that can play basically every instrument in the band.
Yeah.
He could be Genesis himself.
and
That's
he was
kinda
so
what he's
unique.
doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're doing.
You
So
take the influence from the things that you grow up with, I feel, a little bit sometimes, and I was very admirable to a lot of the music that was going on when I was growing up.
for sure.
Going on with MTV, and then even getting older, going into the 90s with a lot of the grunge
With the
scene,
grunge stuff, yeah.
into even finding metal when I found Pantera.
Yeah.
And that opened the world to metal for me, far beyond Driven.
Yeah.
I heard that album and it changed my life.
Hell
First
yeah, man.
CD I ever owned. And
Nice.
it's just,
Nice.
I'm broken.
You mean post-cassette world?
Post-cassette world, yeah.
Yeah,
The first
yeah.
cassette I ever owned was Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. Ooh.
That's metal. That's metal.
Wow, man. Well, that's awesome, bro, and that's a good background story for yourself. But
For sure.
we forgot to introduce your tag along here.
Oh, this is my brother right here. This is Sean Kelly. Been around with me for from the beginning, since he saw the dream happen.
Just another Quad City local.
I tried to get him to kind of be my
Wing.
Alex Van Halen to the Eddie Van Halen, which I'm
Right.
far from, because I am not any Eddie Van Halen. Let me tell you that.
Well, no, you
And-
be
and
Alex.
I'm looking at the camera.
Hold on, no, you would be Alex.
Speaking of which,
that's true.
Tuesday was Eddie's birthday, so happy birthday in rock and roll heaven, Eddie.
Yes.
Big hell yeah.
Nobody touches Eddie.
Whose birthday is it today?
Oh.
Today is
Big Swan's here.
the little guy's birthday.
Swan.
The little big guy. He's my big
The little
little
big guy.
brother.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, so, Justin, you're like, hey, I didn't get you anything for your birthday this year, but I am inviting you onto a radio show, so that's your birthday present.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's your birthday
I got him
present.
a shot of tequila at the Mexican taco
There you go.
store
There you
down
go.
the road.
He
and,
got me a Sega Dreamcast for my birthday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, man. I was going to say...
Justin is the king. Ginger is the king of old school video gaming systems.
Nice.
I don't own a modern game system to this day.
Well, it doesn't matter, man. As long as you have a Dreamcast and you have that, and if you have that game semen,
After
you're all right.
GameCube, I went no game.
All right, well, let's get into Clarity to Chaos. Justin, Dead Ginger.
Yeah.
What album is this off of? Where is this song at on the CD?
I believe this song starts the whole album out.
It starts the whole Dead Ginger saga out?
Which is funny because it was the last song I wrote before the album was released.
Cool, man.
But
Speaking of the album, where can people find it?
You can find this album only currently on bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Might create a digital CD version of it down the road. I don't think I'll go vinyl with it, but
Right.
just a release start point. The craziest thing about it is it's a lot going on. I put everything into a pedal and I play drums behind it.
Okay.
So, and that's the way I did the recording on the album.
Okay.
I didn't sit down and track everything individually.
So you do it all through a looper?
Yeah, it's a very tedious method
Oh,
that I
dude,
do.
you've told me the way you do that before, and I can't even imagine, man.
The
Like,
new album-
props to you for doing it that way.
The new album's actually a little bit harder because I'm actually trying to create some stuff that because it started off, like I said, as a practice
Right.
that turned into more, hey, it sounds pretty cool. I could see you doing this live. Now I'm actually doing it live, to this point.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where it's like, now I'm trying to create a sophomore album. What's going to come behind what I did on this, where I had ideas in the head.
Right.
Now I'm creating ideas.
Well, as an artist, I'm sure it's easy to overthink things too.
Oh yeah,
Always.
most
where
definitely.
where a lot of you, I think your pure raw talent comes straight out of the gut and the heart. You know, I think as anybody laying ink to paper per se,
Yeah.
you find yourself probably thinking that it's not good enough when really it's probably
We're
pretty
our own
badass.
worst critics
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. And a lot of people that write music, they'll be the first person to say, like, you go through that phase. I can write something, I can have a brilliance, and then all of a sudden I'll go through a mental block or just some kind of life happens, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
Yep.
I can't write a riff if my life depends on it. I can't put a song together. And then you go through a moment where it's like, it's there.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's streaking right now.
For sure.
And those are the important times where you need to sit down and make it happen. Right
Absolutely,
Do
man.
you think that this modern environment you're in right now has created a blockage with writing music, with all the craziness going on in the world and stuff like that?
It's a good question right there because personal opinion speaking, yeah, it is tough because it's hard to find influence because you're sitting at home.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are watching web-based stuff. Hopefully people watching right now, seeing this.
Yeah. Hi everybody.
People watching this, it's hard to find that influence. I've been saying this for the last month or so, maybe even longer, because it's hard to keep track of time amidst what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But
We were just talking about that.
yeah, kids right now. I'm sorry for every kid out there if you're getting a chance to watch this. That it might be tough for you to get out and hang out with people that you want to see.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
It's kids. It's adults.
Boy,
it's everyone.
It's everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
when
mean,
I
We're
was a
all
kid,
we're all
holy
feeling
sh-
it at this point. Yeah.
Holy shnikes on that one.
Yeah,
So.
I miss hanging out with my friends, and I don't go out very often because, of course, I've got kids. But there's that once a month or whatever where I was, my wife and I would go out and do something and hang out with our friends, whatever. Well, we haven't done shit in the last year because of it.
Just feel like a human being.
Yeah.
No, it's a tough thing. So all I can say is you got to hang tight. You got to just stick in there because it will get better at some point. I like to think in that nature.
You gotta hang.
We
tight.
can
There'll be
hope.
there'll be something else that'll become a cliffhanger probably at some point. We can't get past that, but things. I like the way that to see how we've all adapted.
Yeah.
As a
Are you
a
talking
human
like?
race
Are you talking
and,
like Sylvester Stallone cliffhanger or like Jim Carrey cliffhanger?
Sylvester Stallone clip.
For sure.
Not the Jim Carrey cliffhanger
Not the
from
Jim
Ace
Carrey
Ventura
cliffhanger.
2.
No way.
I just wanted to make sure. I mean, there's people listening. I want to make sure there's clarity. You know.
Yeah. No.
Speaking of clarity, let's play Clarity to Chaos.
Clarity.
Oh, look at that segue.
Good.
I like
Clarity
that.
to Chaos right here by Dead Ginger on the local stage.
What's up, guys? This is Dead Ginger. You're gonna be listening to Crater. This song's called Strange Lives.
Right here on the local stage.
Ooh.
Crater with Strange Lives on the local stage.
Crater.
Great band.
Yes.
We had Dan on the show last week. He was a big part of Crater.
Spitting that Crater game.
Yeah,
Spitting the Crater game
for sure.
Lyndon's doing bass for him now, so it was like it was like one half a
It was
Crater.
half a Crater, yeah.
It was like one half a Crater.
And I love all of Crater, like the beginning to the end.
What do they call that? A sinkhole?
A sinkhole.
Half of a crater?
Half of a crater.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, Sean with his.
boy.
Was that a joke on the city Davenport? He got out there and get them potholes filled up.
I didn't call out any municipalities, but
I did.
He did. We did. I know.
No, that
Do your job. The taxpayers depend on it.
those were the boys. Crater, good friends of mine.
That was totally like a dad joke. Like, you know, their counterpart sinkhole. I catch myself doing that a lot.
Dude, so
lately.
what's the earliest memory that you have of those guys in Crater, Justin?
My first days with Crater, and honestly, it's probably about close to when I met the Crater boys, was when they were coming out to the Creekside days when I was doing open mic nights.
Dude, when you
and
had
what's
your
Creekside-
long hair,
what's-
you had your long hair swinging it fast.
I had long hair and I was swinging it, baby.
What's
But,
what's Creekside called now?
The bike rack.
Bike rack.
Yeah,
Bike
there we
rack.
go.
There you go. Right on Brady Street. The old McDonald's.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was the first McDonald's west of the Mississippi River.
Oh, shut
And a
up.
great
It was.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Look it up. That was the very first McDonald's west of the Mississippi River.
I
back
love
Pretty
that
sure
McDonald's.
that they just made that up.
There's something
No.
about that place that is
Oh,
just
they made it up.
It's like it feels like home almost whenever I go there to a certain degree. I've
yeah.
been going there my whole life.
Have you been there recently?
No.
Dude, when
I
Creek,
say like
No.
it's been like home my whole life.
Yeah, your whole
You've
life?
been there recently?
no, not at all.
I
You haven't
haven't.
been in there your whole life.
Not in a
then.
million
In reality,
years.
though, I haven't since it turned to the bike rack, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm not a biker.
Well, you're not playing shows there.
Maybe that too. I don't know.
I mean, you were pretty ingrained.
I was ingrained into that community when it was Creekside.
So you played in Marmaduke?
Marmaduke was which was
Those were the golden years.
it was a cover band where we played like Led Zeppelin and a bunch of just random rock songs from the
I'm
80s,
trying to think of some of the other songs.
70s and 90s actually more than 80s.
Okay.
But,
What were some of the
Yeah.
others? It was more than just Led Zeppelin, though. You guys covered a bunch of
oh,
stuff.
we did all kinds of stuff. We did Pink Floyd,
Comfortably
The
Numb,
Knack.
yeah.
So good classic rock.
Yeah, we
Just
did all
classic
kinds of
rock.
stuff. But we
Yeah.
also got into 90s stuff later on and started doing that
Butthole
stuff.
Surfers. There we
The
go.
Butthole Surfers,
Yeah,
Stone
yeah.
Temple Pilots. We did all kinds of stuff.
What was that song? I don't mind the sun sometimes.
That was the Butthole Surfers?
Yeah, but what's that song called?
Pepper.
Pepper. There you go. That was a classic. 90s classic.
So yeah, it started with that. They did some stuff. We kind of did some originals, and it just never took off to that point where it became something. There was a lot of drinking that went on with that band.
Oh, dude.
We were
Sure,
we were
man.
all in our early 20s. Yeah, that was the fun year.
And honestly, I admire all the big bands that I admire growing up. Van Halen, Pantera, all these bands that I adapted as a kid and realized the rock star dream that they actually lived.
Yeah.
And what you can't. How do you accomplish that?
Right.
Because you're getting messed up the whole time.
yeah.
You're getting funked up the whole damn time.
You're doing drugs to slow down. You're doing
you
drugs
did-
to speed up. You're doing drugs to feel better. You're doing drugs to
Guys,
feel worse.
this is all. Van Halen and Pantera, they were clean bands. They didn't party or do drugs at all.
Right.
Sean, get off the show. Get off the show. We need accurate information here. We need to talk about drugs, damn it.
Well, hey, we're going to play a song called Drugrats on Rugs.
Oh, that's a good
And this
one.
is a Dead Ginger tune.
That sounds
It
like a
is,
good one.
man.
Jam out.
Is this so? The name Drugrats on Rugs. Is it Rugrats on drugs? Is it?
I think it was.
Is
It's rain on drugs.
It's actually a pretty good
Question.
scenario, or what do you want to say? Anthology?
Dude, because
To the-
song even kind of sounds like. Did you do it on purpose?
No.
It
The-
kind of sounds like
Well,
the
I
intro
did.
to the Rugrats.
The Rugrats.
Yeah,
it
kinda.
did come from the intro to the song with the bong, 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 bong.
Okay.
Oh,
you
they
got-
haven't heard it yet.
Well, yeah, they have. This has been
Yeah.
on the radio.
They're
It's
gonna
been,
hear
it's
it.
been heard many times.
Yeah.
All right, this song is called Dill Pickles on Acid.
But but the Rugrats had that bang 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 bang.
You're right.
Was that you who did the Rugrats song too?
That really was.
That sounds just like it.
No, he was on Rugrats.
I never put those two things together.
Yeah, I was Phil, the redhead. Yeah. Remember?
Can we all do that in unison? 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
All right, here's Drugrats on Rugs by Dead Ginger right here on the local stage.
Ooh.
with Drugrats on Rugs right here on the local stage. It's your favorite show in the Quad Cities, hosted by Thad Shoemaker and myself, Trevor Goodall. And we do the show right here at Shoemaker Guitar Works at the top of Brady Street Hill in Davenport. If you need a guitar, you go nowhere else. Thad will hook you up. And if you have a broken-ass guitar sitting in the corner of your house that you're never going to do anything with, here's your perfect excuse and here's your sign.
For sure.
Bring it to Shoemaker Guitar Works and have Thad turn that thing back into a new stallion for you. And you will be on stage soon when everything opens back up, and you will be the next best star out of the Quad Cities.
Man, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Talking about a star out of the Quad Cities, Dead Ginger is here in studio with us right now with his brother Sean Kelly.
The young Broham.
We've got a rock star in the music industry, Dead Ginger, and we've got a rock star in the real estate industry over here, Sean Kelly. Let's do a little plug here. If you need a house,
I love it.
And your broken ass house is falling apart, and you need
No.
to get out of there, and you need to get out of there
broken ass house.
as soon as possible. Go to Sean Kelly.
Hey, I'll tell you what. It's anything. You know, real estate's it's a ever evolving business, and it's never cut and dry. And you have commercial leases. You have people that are moving into the area from other areas. You have people that are upgrading, downsizing. There's a lot of different molds to fit. But anyways,
Doesn't he sound like a realtor?
Hey, he does.
He sounds like a realtor.
Sean Kelly, the Robinson Group, eXp Realty.
And he's a hell of a roadie, let me tell you.
I love it, and I love heavy metal.
One of the toughest things about doing my thing here on the solo thing after I got into it was realizing if I wanted to do a live show, who's going to help me out?
Right.
It's your bro.
It's got to be your brother, right?
Always helps you.
I got one brother, and he's always been around to help as long as he could. So, yeah. I could not offer him to come over here and talk with you guys.
Well,
sure.
and I mean, come on, guys, it's my birthday.
And it's his birthday.
I mean, I'm kind of a big deal now.
Yeah,
you
man,
know? I mean,
it's
on
your birthday.
January 27th of every year.
And wind blows also.
Oh, you got to keep that down low, Justin. You can't talk about that until a little bit later.
Wind doesn't blow.
The show. Excuse me.
So this next band that you chose, Dredge.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Dredge, so this will be my first time hearing
These
Dredge.
guys are out of Dubuque, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super cool band. I got to play with my boys in Resonator that I play drums with in Resonator. And we played at the Rock Island Supper Club with this band, and I never heard them before. Actually, no, I think I had. And Dan was like, yeah, we played with these guys at this point. And I was like, oh, I don't remember. I wonder why. but yeah, I saw these guys down at the Supper Club, and they just blew my mind. Whatever I saw before, I guess I didn't see it, or I wasn't there to see it. I was off somewhere going,
Sounds good to me.
But no, they blew my mind at the Supper Club. So I checked the album out on Bandcamp, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty. I still haven't bought the album on Bandcamp.
Shut up, Justin.
No, I haven't bought the album yet. I'm gonna buy it, guys. I promise. I'm just dragging my feet.
Tomorrow,
it's money
right?
in the bank, guys. That's the way
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Just look at it that way.
Tomorrow.
But no, I'm very
tomorrow.
impressed with what they've done. They offer an incredible sound to the music scene, and coming out of Iowa, please check out their album.
Sure.
It's incredible.
For sure.
I promise. It's progressive, metalish music.
Okay.
It's awesome.
You got something better.
Well, I look forward to hearing it.
It's
always
the
good,
jaws of life, baby. Let them rip.
It's always good to have some new tunes on the show and different stuff that we don't always hear because band out of Dubuque wouldn't necessarily send us their music because we're kind of out of their
network.
Just
their
outside.
network. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's just outside the peak of our zone.
But technically we're not. I mean, because they're still part of the Quad Cities metropolitan area,
Yeah.
and so we're like to consider ourselves local and regional now, I guess.
You know what? If you really think about it, the Quad Cities is such a heart of the Midwest.
Yeah.
And I've traveled to California and other areas of the country, and
Everyone knows it.
We're on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People know where the Quad Cities
that's
is.
no
And,
joke.
and if they don't, you say John Deere, and they're like,
Or
"Oh,
exactly,
okay,
exactly,
Yeah,
a major
yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you think about it, we're really, if you travel in any given direction, you can get to so many awesome cities.
Yep.
I mean, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Omaha, Des Moines, obviously, Chicago. You've got Madison, Milwaukee,
Yeah.
St. Louis. All these cities are within a probably 5-hour drive, 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my little
Dude, that looks so
Everyone
delicious.
always hates on the Quad Cities and blah blah blah, but I think it's a great central location for.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Despite what everybody thinks. So
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
man.
we're all natives.
Exactly,
So,
exactly,
That's. I'm sure everybody thinks that about their hometown. It's
Yeah,
just a little dump area. Whatever.
That stupid
but,
Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just proud, whenever I'm watching a movie and somebody says Davenport in it.
You talking about the movie White Boys?
Or Like the,
Yeah. Have you seen that movie in Iowa City?
Yeah, where he's on the 74 bridge.
Yeah.
That's
that movie.
That's about to be torn down.
Dumb and Dumber. I mean, a lot of movies.
Yeah,
man.
the Will Ferrell commercials for Old Milwaukee that he did here in Davenport.
Oh,
You ever seen
I don't
those?
think he wants to talk about
Mississippi
those.
cock gobbler.
Right?
Because, you know, so when that
he's in
stuff
Mississippi,
happens,
that was so great.
when that stuff happens to the Quad Cities, then the Quad Cities isn't such a bad place.
Yeah.
You know, we get celebrities who roll through here and use our scenery for movies and commercials like that, then they're gone.
The Road
And
to
then we get it
Perdition.
back. And then we get it back to ourselves.
Do you remember The Road to Perdition?
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah.
That
Great movie.
had ties to Rock
Great
Island.
movie.
Yeah.
Really?
True story.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yep.
Yeah, I wrote that story. It was all me.
All
Well,
about John
we
Looney.
didn't want to say
Although
that.
they changed it to
Just
Rooney
kidding.
for the movie.
The Crazies takes place in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah. And then there was Cedar Rapids, the movie that wasn't filmed in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, and do you remember that movie, The Crazies, when they're walking down the street and they look in that back alley and there's like 6 or 7 dudes all mad just punching that dumpster for no reason and the dumpster's on fire.
Crazy
And then-
Mike and the boys.
And then they all look over at the same time and then they just go back to punching the dumpster. It's like, why was that scene in there? You know why? Because it happened in Cedar Rapids.
Because it was Cedar Rapids.
That was actually some of the better acting I've seen in a while.
Oh
You
yeah,
know-
dude. Oh yeah.
Much better than any of the recent Ashton Kutcher things I've seen.
Oh. Was that an Ashton Kutcher job
Ashton
or a Cedar
Kutcher
Rapids
listens to
job?
this show, man.
He
I'm
does.
sorry?
Ashton Kutcher listens to this show.
He's a
Well, you know what?
sponsor, you dick.
I've got an idea. Let's have an episode where me and Ashton meet up. I dare you.
You know what? You won't know it, bro, because you're gonna get punked now.
We're going to have him do some backup vocals. No, it'd be primary vocals, as a matter of fact, because there are no vocals in my music.
Perfect. Dude,
Yeah.
if you had Ashton
Let's have him
Kutcher
do
do
a
vocals
freestyle.
on Dead Ginger,
Yeah. I think
It's gonna
that's
happen
I
now.
think that's a market right there.
you'd
$1 million
blow-
idea.
You'd
right?
be
There you
playing.
go.
You'd be playing in Japan before you knew it.
I'm telling you, if that becomes $1 million idea, I split that with you guys all quarter.
perfect.
Ashton
Deal.
gets 0, so that means we all get 25 apiece.
I heard through the grapevine that he's hurting for money.
That's why he listens to our show now.
Exactly.
Got nothing to do.
Yeah.
He's got nothing.
Oh, he's got COVID. It's all right. He's got COVID.
No, he doesn't. We test every guest
We
before
all
they
know
come
he
on the
doesn't.
show. We make them show proof.
Tell him how you test this.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can say it on air how we test. Okay, I'm gonna bleep it out on air. We stick Q-tips up their urethras and do a swab. That's how we test them.
Was that with a curved straw, or was it a straight straw?
It's
a swizzle stick.
Couldn't
Swizzle stick.
you
Swizzle
tell?
stick.
Yeah.
Couldn't you tell? All right, here's Dredge with the Crumbling right here on the local stage.
Wait. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
right, that was Dredge with the Crumbling. Now you've got Dead Ginger with the Wee Lad here on the local stage.
Thanks, Sean. From Wind Blows.
Been straight.
Sean from Wind Blows. Dead Ginger with the Wee Lad on the local stage. And in between Dead Ginger and Dredge, you heard the crumbling sound of Wind Blows.
Boy, Kerry Moisture.
Oh.
So the past, the past 3 weeks, if you've been listening to the show,
enlighten us, Trevor.
In between a random pairing of songs, you heard, "Hi, this is Sean with Wind Blows. You're listening to the local stage." That's this guy.
That's that
guy. Oh,
this guy.
The mask behind the face. The face behind the mask.
This
You heard me wrong.
sniveling twerp.
All right, put that back on.
Yeah, you know, hey, this
Speaking
is
of-
Sean. I'm here. I wanted y'all to know my alias. It was all a make-believe game, and I want you to come down the labyrinth with me.
So the band Wind Blows is from the Quad Cities. It hasn't been started yet, but
Established in 2021.
yeah, established in 2021. Wind Blows, get ready for them. They're
Yeah.
gonna rock your world.
They're
In
all
a
Quad
super-
Cities, but
looking
they
at us
have
right
English
here.
In a
accents.
super existential way.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I said that right. I'm gonna have a hard time. But, dude, so
It's kind of like a mixture of, I don't know.
It's gonna be like Berlin.
It's like a mixture of Pantera and Hall &
Berlin
Oates.
with Berlin.
With Berlin.
With a little
Pantera,
Berlin
Hall
in
& Oates,
there?
Berlin,
No,
mix
no.
it up.
We're making all this
We're
up,
gonna have really
obviously.
deep
well,
synthetic things going on.
What's the first song
It's
title
going to
gonna
take
be?
your breath away.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I
Exactly.
mean, we have all this material, but there's just no title to it.
No, I think your first song track's gonna be Red Gazebo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought you already determined that.
That's good.
No, it's gonna be kind of funked up though a little bit. It's gonna be Red Gazebo spray painted by some hoodlum.
What? Yeah.
Perfect. But I want it to be.
How about this?
I want it to be red gazebo, but then in the
How about this?
parentheses you could do spray painted by some hoodlum.
Wind blows with their opening track, The Seasons.
The Seasons. I like it.
Because that wind, it's, it blows.
It does.
It blows, man.
And we're going to cut this all out, right?
Red gazebo.
No, we're not. This is
red
gold
gazebo
material.
spray painted by
This is gold
some
material.
underage teenager that didn't know any better. That's what we're gonna name it.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
I don't like hoodlums.
Well,
That
I'll tell you
doesn't
what.
sound right.
We're going to figure it out, and we're going to get there, and it'll be okay.
And wind blows will be a thing.
Wind blows.
Wind blows will be a thing.
All right, guys, we got to take a little break and pay for our bills, but we'll be right back on the local stage.
Take your breath away.
Hey guys, do you need a warming snack on these cold winter days? Lobo Salsa will warm you up, might even make you sweat. Lobo Salsa, believe the hype. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, do you have a business or a band per se that needs some merch? Well, I've got your people. Go to Elite Ink Printing. Nowhere else can they give you the best deals, fastest shipping, highest quality, and above all else, they're based right here in Davenport, Iowa. We are currently working with them, and if you use the promo code LOCALSTAGE at your checkout from EliteInkPrinting.com, you will get free shipping. That might not be advantageous for some of you right here in the Quad Cities, but if you're listening from far, far away and you have a big t-shirt order, that's a really good deal. Again, that's Elite Ink Printing right here in Davenport, Iowa. They're currently running amazing deals, and I'm telling you, it's the highest quality, best pricing, and fastest shipping you will see in the t-shirt business. So get on it. Again, use checkout code LOCALSTAGE and they will hook you up.
Shout out to our sponsor, Allied Barber Supply, 1513 Harrison Street in Davenport. There's so much more than just men's grooming. There's everything manly that you could ever imagine in that place. So check them out. Allied Barber Supply, 1513 Harrison Street, Davenport.
Machete.
Kronos Resistor with the song Geosynchronous Sentinel Satellite on the local stage. And I'm Dead Ginger. Glad to see you guys tonight.
And you were actually
I hope you can see me, because I could say you.
You were actually a part of Kronos, weren't you?
No.
No?
I was not part of Kronos.
Okay.
I'm good friends with the guys all in the band, and I've looked up to Billy for a long time.
Billy's a badass.
Billy was with Catalina.
Billy
I
badass,
used to go to all the Catalina shows, and not just Billy. I mean Bryan West.
Yeah.
Huge influence. One of my prime influences here in town.
One of the greatest drummers in the Quad Cities, as far as I'm concerned.
I had a couple of lessons with him, honestly, and he he just told me, hey, just keep on playing drums. You don't need anything more from
Nice.
me, basically.
Nice.
And that's not the truth, I don't feel, but because I feel like he's a lot more musically. I know he's much more musically inclined than I am on a sheet sense, and just knowledge is key, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I was foolish when I was younger.
What are you talking about, man?
I didn't go to school for music.
Oh, man, school is for fools.
I agree with that. School is for fools.
But
you don't need an MBA to play
some
drums.
of my favorite things come from people that went to school for music, and I realized the things that you can learn when you go to school for it and you actually learn the art.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong ever with going to school, guys, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with rocking and rolling either, baby! Woo! It ain't
Cheers
rock
to
and
that.
roll
Yeah,
if you ain't partying a little bit.
That's
so.
a bunch of cans clinking.
And
That's a bunch of cans cleaning. We got rowdy.
you know what better than to go with rock and roll would be Lobo's salsa.
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That sounds
Unfortunately, we don't have any
delicious.
here with us today.
I thought you were going to pull a tub of it out right
I
now.
was hoping to, but
Dude,
Lobo couldn't make
Trevor's
it
got
over.
it in his drink.
I got it in my drink. I'm
It's
drinking
chelada. It's
a Modelo Chelada
With
Little
Lobo
lime in it,
salsa.
with
too.
Lobo salsa
So a
in it.
little shout out to Lobo. Thank you for sponsoring the show. We appreciate that.
Yes. And
You
if
just hit it with a little ninja puree.
Yeah, a little ninja. No, I like chewing the chunks in my beers.
Oh,
I like chewing
yeah.
the chunks.
Yeah,
But
marinated
If you don't know where to
tomato.
find Lobo's Salsa, look him up on Facebook and Instagram. He sends you on a little scavenger hunt throughout the Quad Cities to find it.
Yep,
But hey,
yep.
while you're on that hunt, you can grab a beverage at most of these fine establishments that he sells it at.
And thankfully, all those establishments are now back to being open.
Yes,
at least
thank God.
to a certain capacity,
Yeah.
anyway.
New World
So
Order.
yeah.
New
World Order.
That's all we're gonna say about that.
Is that wait? Are you trying to do a
That was a
ministry
ministry.
song? Yeah, ministry song.
No, that was the NWO.
New World Order. It's a new world order.
World. Hey. Hey. I love that song, man. I love
Ministry is the shit, and if
Ministry is
anybody,
awesome.
if you guys, I hope you guys caught
new
that
world
Pantera
order.
Slayer, or well, excuse me, Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, and that show that was with Primus and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Ministry really threw it down for that
They
show.
did.
2
It was
Novembers
heavy.
ago.
Was it that long ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over a
it
year
wasn't
ago.
last year, that's for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
that was a great Quad City. Yes, yeah, you're right. Sure as hell wasn't 2020. Yeah.
No. But no, man, that was a huge show at the Mark.
That was.
That was like my 6th time seeing Primus. My first time seeing Slayer.
Phil Anselmo did good for playing Pantera.
That
too.
honestly captured the night for me.
Yeah.
I'd seen Pantera on their last tour, and it was the greatest.
In
one of
Cedar
the greatest
Rapids,
things.
right?
Yeah. Got to see him with Soulfly and Morbid Angel,
Nice.
and it was an intensely awesome
Oh, dude,
show.
that would have been awesome.
Last tour
And
they
if you
ever
guys
did.
have never heard Morbid Angel, they're kind of like a pop alternative band. They're
Check out Morbid Angel. They're not local.
Yeah, they usually play Morbid Angel on B100. We don't play that over
yeah,
here.
Good
it's not on
album.
this station. really,
Domination.
yeah, so.
It's super pop.
Super pop indeed. Well, dude, Justin, you talked a little bit about your setup earlier in the show, but break it down into the actual pieces of equipment that you use when you play your set live.
Well, that's kind of morphed a little bit over the years. It's kind of funny because in the beginning I wanted to have as much as I could. Like, we're not talking Neil Peart spin around kit.
No,
Or
no.
the guys with the 90-piece kit in front of them.
Right.
But I liked having toms. I liked having a lot of cymbals. I figured the more you had, the more you
could do with it.
You could do with it, exactly. But the downside to that is every time you get to play live,
You gotta move it.
who's going to move all that
Yeah.
stuff for you? And like I said, I got a great roadie right here, but it goes further than that even. Getting on and off the stage timely, stuff like that.
Right.
So I learned to break it down a little bit. And playing with the boys in Resonator kind of helped me break it down even further.
Kind of hone in on what you really needed and didn't need.
They didn't want a full kit. They wanted minimal, few toms, couple cymbals.
So you kind of adapted your style from one group to the other.
Right.
To figure out that
You get hi-hat, you'll get ride.
Right. Oh, honestly,
That's all you get.
We don't fight about it, but Dan would still love me to take about 3 cymbals off the kit right now, probably.
Yeah.
But
in doing that, though,
because I'm too stubborn.
In doing that, though,
You gotta stick up for yourself, especially to Dan Freitag, because you know what? If Dan got what he wanted all the time, everything would suck. That's a huge diss on Dan, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Dan, I love you.
Yeah, Dan, sorry. Can you please come back on the show someday?
Yeah, hey,
no, but seriously.
Beer with Lobo salsa.
Beer with Lobos. I love
sure.
it.
Dan, that was a joke.
But dude, so you just said that, Justin, said that you don't touch any of your equipment on stage. It's all your roadie here.
Oh, well,
You refuse to pack up any of your stuff or move any of it?
It's
all Sean?
I don't touch a single thing.
I've been hit pretty hard before.
Wow, man. You got it.
He ain't carrying nothing now. He's the gimp.
I give him all my free drink tickets. I give him the free barbecue.
I got a bad leg now.
You guys either have a really good brotherly relationship or you don't.
Well,
no, it's all a joke. Everything was all a joke. No, I help out with everything.
Good.
Equally as good as I can. He helps out a lot. I've had Joe Ronnebeck, who's also Resonator, who's helped me out very much. So go grab one of his awesome pedals, Clone Tweaker. We could talk about that on the air, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
well, and just before you guys just blow me off in the dust.
He's done great things to help me.
I just want to make sure you understand that
sound.
it's better to eat crap than it is to not eat it all. Okay. I just want you guys to know.
Going back to Joe's pedals, off of that, Joe's actually helped me out a lot with figuring out my sound with Dead Ginger. He's created a lot of pedals for me where the first album you'll hear it a little bit from the stuff that you're hearing today, but I'm working on a new album right now that I hope to have. It's kind of a weak goal, I feel, but I'm trying to shoot for Halloween. I released the first album on Halloween a couple years ago now.
I don't think that's a weak goal. It's all you, so you got to do all this shit yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
I just got to get the rest of the album finished yet. Right. It's not fully written yet.
Right.
And you know what? No excuses.
But let me tell you guys, you're going to love this new album, I feel. If you like what you're hearing on this first Dead Ginger album, this new one's a little bit stronger, I feel, a little bit heavier in areas. And because of Joe and pedals that he's created for me, you're getting a little bit more creation off this one, too.
Dead Ginger's coming back to life. Yeah.
Oh, I'm super stoked to show this to you guys. I'm serious. Like, we go through a writer's ass itch and stuff, but I'm telling you guys, this last week or so, I've been working on some stuff, and it's promising. I can't wait to play it for people.
We're gonna take him to Vegas for a weekend. We're gonna jazz him up a little bit. So he's
27 red, baby, let's go.
Yeah. Well, I was talking more about the other things, but we're gonna get.
It's gonna be like an episode of The Hangover all over again.
Yeah, there's gonna be weird tigers and babies.
Just remember, tigers dislike cinnamon, but they love pepper.
Remember that.
Yeah.
And here's another fact: Lyndon Ehlers draws
name dropping.
magnificent things.
Oh, okay, all right.
Does he?
I was looking at the wrong side of that. I'm looking now more correct. I'm not blind, but I'm colorblind. Lyndon Ehlers draws magnificent.
All right, Donnie. Okay.
things.
All right, we got you.
Come on, Donnie.
All right.
All right, we got you up next. Not Dead Ginger, but it's Archemedes' Death Ray.
Oh,
And who
choice.
all is in Archimedes' Death Ray?
Well, Archemedes'
A bunch
Death
of
Ray went
Vietnam
through a
vets.
bunch of members, I believe.
That's what I thought.
When I joined the band, they had gone through an album that I wasn't involved with, and they lost the drummer and one of the players, and they had me come on, had another player. I joined the band, lost a couple players throughout the midst, and rearranged a couple things, and I stayed with them for a while. Mm-hmm. And then Brandon Hankins, by the name, came into the band and brought new spark into this band that really took it to a height that was honestly awesome. Like we did some really cool things with this guy in the band. Had a little bit of a fallout, I guess you could call it. I don't even want to say that because...
Has he been dropped on the show before? Name dropped?
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Little fallout. Things happen, you know.
Yeah, especially in the music world.
What?
You know?
Yeah,
No
nothing.
big deal.
Nothing.
Being in a band's like having a family.
Right.
It really is, you know?
It hurt,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like having 3 baby mamas.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, it took nothing away from our friendship. So, like, you know, like, him and I were really good friends. And
Yeah.
I had to have this song play tonight because this was honestly one of the pinnacles of what I've done musically.
Cool.
Was because of what this guy created and the guys I was playing with in this band
A
at the
pinnacle
time.
or
Yeah.
a pentagram?
All right, enough.
Anyway.
I want to get back into the music.
Yeah,
Listen,
no,
let
this
me
is an
introduce
excellent song right here.
Let me introduce the song.
And
Here's-
everybody, Izzy Sutton did the vocals, Zach Anderson was a guitar player, and you had Tyler Ryan on the bass, along with Brandon Hankins and myself. Excellent group of guys here.
Rest in peace, Brandon, by the way.
Yes.
Rest
We
in
miss you,
peace.
Brandon. Big
Rest
time.
in peace, Brandon.
Archemedes
Always think of
Death
you.
Ray with Warby. Right here on the local stage.
You have eyes, but you do not see. The truth will set you free. The world is ruled by the demon sea. We're enslaved by the war machine. Noise, anger, hatred, and pain. Swallowing down the ashes of angels. Beating upon the children of men. Swallowing down the ashes of angels. War beast. Repeat the days until you're last. We know it will come fast. The war beast, no one discriminates. Living war and blast. It conquers the fighter we are fall. We're in records to the hills we crawl. Swallowing down the ashes of angels. Beating upon the children of men. Swallowing down the ashes of angels. Repeat the days until you're last. And you know it will come fast. Slaughtering the innocent by the millions while you're asleep. Towering above the war beast is alive. Are you alive? Innocent by the millions while you're asleep. While you're asleep. Towering above the war beast is alive. Are you still alive? Bring on the war beast, oh! Let it all fall down. Burn it to the ground. this ugly end. Swallowing down the ashes of angels, beating upon the children of men. Swallowing down the ashes of angels. War Beast.
That was Archemedes' Death Ray with War Beast. Right here on the Local Stage podcast.
They're on fire!
Yes, they
They're
are.
on fire!
Ooh, that's
That
like
was-
some Steel Panther.
That was Dead
No, that's,
Ginger
Van
screaming
Halen.
his skull off. He used to be in Archemedes' Death Ray, but now he is only the Dead Ginger. Full form.
And nader of Resonator.
And, yes, exactly.
I'm the nader part.
You're the Ralph Nader of
guys.
The
Resonator.
Nader? You're the Ralph Nader of Resonator?
I'm the Ralph Nader.
Nobody likes
of
Ralph Nader.
Resonator.
He killed the Corvair.
He killed the Corvair.
Didn't you guys used to have 4 members in Resonator?
I
was the
the
fourth
member,
member.
actually.
I used to
but
play
they
the
didn't want it.
xylophone.
Didn't
wanted
Bob
it-
Seger join you guys for a little
Bob
bit?
That
Seger?
was the Silver Bullet
No.
Man.
Tiny fact about Bob Seger: my dad and my grandpa worked with Bob Seger's grandpa at International Harvester East Moline.
Yeah, that sounds made up.
Bob Seger's
Hey,
grandpa
hey,
worked here in
is
the Quad
that
City.
why?
did.
Is that why he says in the
Happened
fire down
in Vegas,
below?
it happens in Moline.
Yes.
Everybody thought he was talking about Moline, Michigan, but he was talking about Moline here because he would
he's
come
got
and visit
family
his grandfather.
ties.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
No way! It's
happens
Bob
down
Seger!
the wind.
Bob Seger!
Well, it
Trevor's
happens
got
down
the
in
night
Vegas,
move shirt
and it
on.
happens in Moline.
moves.
They got one thing in common.
Night moves.
They got the fire down below.
What you look at the cat man do?
Well, okay, dude.
I
like
told everybody he used to be in Resonator.
he was. Nobody believes it.
Seeger?
Yeah, Seger
was.
used to be in Resonator.
Dan.
It was before you came
Dan
around.
kicked him out of the band.
Dan kicked Bob Seger out of the
God,
band.
He was jealous
Damn
of
it,
the beard.
Dan.
He wanted He wanted to
Yeah.
do the vocals. That
But-
was because it was Seger was our vocalist.
I got
Seger
this
did nothing
t-shirt
else but vocals.
from Seger when I met him at Dan's house when they were hanging out in the living room playing Magic the Gathering,
Yeah, making night moves.
making night moves. And every time Bob Seger put a mana down, night move, night move, night move. And then I told him I had a Black Lotus, and he didn't believe me. So then they kicked him out. I got this T-shirt though. That's the significance of this T-shirt. I'm gonna wrap it back up now.
I like your hat
Keep it
personally.
covered up.
Thank you.
Oh God.
What does it say?
My vodka gives a shh.
Hey guys, quiet.
It's my new sponsorship.
Hey,
Thad.
South Park can say. Why
Speaking
can't
of
you guys?
sponsorships, who else do we got to mention?
We got a lot,
Absolutely.
huh?
Wait a second. I should have worn this shirt today actually
You should have.
because this Bob Seger shirt would have been a lot better if it came from Elite Ink Printing. If you have a
Oh,
band,
yeah.
if you have a band and you want a hell of a deal on your lot of T-shirts that you can sell at your shows, especially here coming up soon when everything opens back up, because you're gonna want as much merch as you can to support last year and all the crap that you missed out on.
Well, Trevor,
hot-
Elite Ink, they can handle more things, right?
Elite Ink can handle everything that you want, and they do free designs. Also, right now, they have a deal, $4.99 a T-shirt if you buy 100 T-shirts.
Wow.
And what?
Pay
place is this
$499
again? You better
bucks.
Say it one more time.
Elite Ink Printing,
And where
right
are they
here in
located
Davenport,
at?
right here in
Davenport.
Davenport.
Okay.
Dead Ginger still needs merchandise of shirts. And
You better go
stuff,
to Elite Ink.
Also, if you go to eliteinkprinting.com and you use the code word LocalStage on checkout, you'll get free shipping. That's a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal.
Might save you 37 cents, you know?
It might- yeah, especially if you live here in the Quad Cities.
Right.
But you don't want to go outside the house in these treacherous times. Have them ship you your shirts.
You know, I hate to say this because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Shut up," but at the same time, like, I kind of like the winter sometimes.
Oh, shut up, man.
It just gives me a little time to work on some things.
Come on, man.
Guys, work on my
You
six
can
pack.
appreciate no bugs. You can appreciate.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
You
on
can
the no
appreciate
Hey,
a
You
good
know,
book.
Justin, or
a cold
Ginger
night
Boy.
where you can't go outside and you just sit and work on a home project.
You just hit the nail on the head, though, where when people, they live in the Midwest or
You gotta
North,
find something good out of it. Because it gets depressing, especially coming up next month.
I can see both sides of it, but when we live where we live, you don't have to worry about scorpions. You don't have to worry about King Rattler. I mean, don't get me wrong. There can be some poisonous snakes. But the seasons create a more less toxic environment, I guess, in terms of nature speaking.
Yeah.
I mean,
you go to areas that have 4 seasons that are all warm, and you get animals that will kill you.
That's why we don't have tarantulas and shit like that.
Exactly. Scorpions, tarantulas, snakes.
So it's not so bad living here. It's just you got to deal with a few months of absolute crap that you don't want to deal with.
You just got to shovel powder for
You got to shovel some powder. Sometimes you got to salt some ice.
Well, some of us shovel powder all year round.
Speaking of doing all that,
next on the list, Young Jeezy.
I wore this little suit today, guys. Check me out. I'm Boba Fett. I shovel snow.
For people who are listening on the radio right now, Dead Ginger just put his Boba Fett hoodie on that looks pretty convincing.
It does.
I've shoveled a lot of snow in this.
I bet you did, and it probably protects your face.
It does. It's also a mask, so it protects you against other
things,
right?
all the cold things that might hit you with flurries and stuff. It's excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's got a Bluetooth lightsaber.
I've played live shows wearing this, and let me tell you, after about the 3rd or 4th song, it comes off.
It comes off.
It's not fun wearing this when I play live.
You get a little it's kind of like after the 3rd or 4th beer, they come off.
I can totally wear this for the rest of the segment,
Yeah, you can if you want to. I mean, it's up to you, man.
It's pretty COVID friendly.
Well, hey, Mr. Dead Ginger. Tell us about this next song that we're going to be playing that you call 27.
27. That's the number. That's his number.
That's today's
of
date.
January.
Okay.
27 is the birthday of my birthday. I'm July. 27 was our dog's birthday, Molly.
So it's your
our family number.
Your lucky family number.
Yeah. And weird as it is, we're 4.5 years to the day. He's January 27th, 89. I'm July 27th, 84. That's
crazy.
4.5 to the day apart from each other.
Yeah.
I've never believed it, honestly. I always thought it was made up.
They probably faked it on the birth certificate so
exactly.
you guys can talk about it right now.
Yeah. I thought it was all a conspiracy theory for the local stage.
Unlike the first song that we heard on this segment, which was the last song I wrote on the album, this was actually one of the first 2 songs I wrote with my project. So
You can breathe though, right?
You look like you're getting woozy behind that.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm doing all right.
Oh God, he's falling.
All right, well, here's Dead Ginger with 27 right here on the local stage. that was Dead Ginger with 27 right here on the local stage. Hey, you know what? Boba Fett sucks. The Mandalorian is way better.
I'm so hooked on that show right now, though, too.
You guys got me totally lost on all this because I'm not a Star Wars person at all.
Are you a
Me
Trek
and
guy?
you both, brother.
No. Not
Okay,
at all.
all right, that works
Not
too.
at all.
Do you? We probably shouldn't talk about spoilers on the show because I would hate to ruin the epic conclusion of The Mandalorian for somebody.
I'm more of a
Aren't
Tony
we
Hawk
far enough
fan
past that,
myself.
though?
I was in tears when I found out what happened at the end of the last episode of The Mandalorian. Man. I was sitting there watching. I was like, no. Oh, God. It is. Oh.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I was eating Frito scoops. Yeah,
33 years. 33 years of anticipation for this moment, and it finally happened. Oh, God. Check out The Mandalorian only on Disney+.
Hey,
Oh, that was a great spot.
that was a great spot. That
Hopefully
was.
they heard that. So.
I hope everyone heard that.
Hey,
George,
Trev, I see your beard's kind of growing in there. You know,
Thanks,
you
man.
got the dead ginger beard going on.
Yep.
You know what you need for
You
that
guys are
beard?
all creeping
We need
me
some
out.
stuff from Allied Barber Supply.
Oh,
Some
good
oil,
call.
some balm. You know, get that
Yes.
shit so it looks good. You know, and forms good. And I can't talk because I haven't brushed mine today. But you know.
Yeah. Well, we can pretend.
So what do? Do you just go like this?
Yep. You work it in and
Work it in.
and then brush it. Yep.
And then brush it out.
Yep.
And then it doesn't look like
Brush
a
'em,
tumble.
brush
It
'em,
doesn't look like
brush
a
'em.
tumbleweed blowing through the desert.
Beards
True.
are becoming a big thing, though. I mean,
They are,
like, you
they
know,
are.
if you're going to rock a beard, you want to make sure that it's maintained. You
Yeah.
want to make sure it's clean.
Yeah, you don't want to
And-
look like you're
and,
homeless unless
I
you
mean,
really want to.
I mean, we're going to keep all you married gents and stuff out of the mix, but I mean, you're out there trying to score some ladies. You know, you're going to want to have that nice, clean pomade up on that beard. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
exactly.
You know?
Man. So go to Allied Barber Supply.
yeah,
Where
right
they
here,
located
1513 Harrison Street, Davenport.
And
Or
they will
just
hook you up.
sport some chin clay
And
like
just
this
please-
guy right here.
Don't get it twisted.
Chin
Hey, by
play.
the way, speaking about clay, Dead Ginger, that's me once again. You can find my stuff on Bandcamp. The album's free, by the way. You can just get it. You don't even gotta buy it. Just go get it.
So
Just
you
go
just press
swoop it up.
You know, you might not like it, but if you just put it on the background, like, and just like listen to it, like, you don't gotta listen to it. Put it on the background at a party, and it'll be a great time.
He recommends that
You're
you
gonna love
donate
it.
Tree Fitty.
It's good background music. It's good party music. It's good video game music. It's good mental music. You don't have somebody talking to you or feeding you a message. The music is the message. You ought to be the music because the music is
deep.
a
I like
message.
You are the music.
The music is the message. I like that.
Does the White Rabbit sing at some point?
Feed your hands.
Throw the toaster in when the white rabbit peeks.
Yeah. Well, you guys are blowing my mind right now.
Thank you, Trevor, at the lever.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show, Dead Ginger. Appreciate it.
What's next?
Dude, like this show has already been a spectacle, and I have a feeling that there might be a cherry on top before we close this out.
Yeah, so you gotta talk about this guy because I've never heard of this before.
Is this our last
also
segment
a new
right
one.
here?
Bogatz.
It is. It is.
Oh, we're on the
going
last
into
one.
Bogatz.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's just kind of feed our way into this one.
For sure.
This one has to do with the whole idea. Poorly said. This doesn't have to do with the idea of Dead Ginger, but Dead Ginger would not happen without this guy. I feel right here.
Okay.
You're
That's
gonna hear it
respect. Yeah.
Okay.
Honest to God, this guy, he taught me a whole lot, and he's one of my best friends. We've played music a lot
I
together.
think that ties in with both of us.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, we wanted him to be here today, but he couldn't because he had to work.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wanted to have him in because he's a brilliant person.
And he's
that-
an extremely talented musician.
Yeah.
And he definitely has a lot of talent.
And he has the same kind of humor that we all share here today, so it would have been good to have him here. But
That would have been great to have
he-
have one more voice in the room.
Yeah.
but he couldn't make it in, so this was my tribute to him. This is a song that him and I actually wrote back in the day when I first was writing music. We had a place across the river at the Rock Island Oil Company, and we had a band called Stump that had more members at one point, and it kind of formatted out, and it just became him and I, and it became a few other things that all kind of panned out in the end, didn't work out, and ultimately, in the end, we always held on to this very track out of everything we played.
This was like your piece.
This was
your pride piece.
This was a masterpiece song, and it was so badass. We played it a couple times live in front of like open mic scenarios, and it went over so well. It was so cool.
Nice.
And people dug it. And he went above and beyond that after things were done and created this excellent thing that I decided to choose for the last track of this. Where
It's like a MIDI file, isn't it?
yeah, but let me just break this down for a second, guys.
Okay.
So he had a program where he could write, or not write, but create music by using computer stuff, programming, and making 8-bit music. Just like an 8-bit.
So basically,
Like
he converted the song you wrote into an 8-bit file.
He did the whole song.
Similar to what would be on like a Nintendo or something.
I was going to say, isn't that what the Sega Genesis was? Was 8-bit?
I think Sega was, but Nintendo was for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and let me tell you guys, you listen to this track, all you viewers listen to this, it sounds just like a Nintendo track.
Question
But
for
it's
the,
no Nintendo track. It's a song that him and I played back when we were kids.
Sweet.
question for
But
the viewers.
he wrote this song. It was his song. I did the drums with it, but it was his guitar.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, we were two kids that were just jamming out.
Right.
And
Can we expect to hear a non 8-bit version ever, or is that something that's not?
I wouldn't say no. We still talk about playing.
So there's nothing that's been recorded. It's just kind of a matter of an old fun thing that you're kind of playing with.
He might have something kind of buried away in an old archive, but it won't ever be released in that sense. It would be something that
Just
would
for the viewing
re-recorded down
audience.
the road. But this was something that he created amidst everything that happened afterwards, and this was after the band was even done when this was created. But this was an excellent thing, and it took him. I don't imagine how much time to do this.
Right.
But I'm telling you guys, this is a treat what you're about to hear. And if you could only hear the distorted guitar and drum version of this,
the real deal. Yeah.
you'd be like, holy
That's why I
crap,
asked,
this is insane, because he also did it with another band called the Postmortems,
Oh, okay.
which is a local thing. Devin.
Well, and even just
Devin and Al.
Devin, yep,
yeah,
and Al.
and,
Exactly.
and even me being a third party outsider, I've heard you guys.
Which those guys are great. Devin, I'm sorry I didn't get you on the episode tonight. I went with a little bit of heavier things, but for real,
good.
I had Giallos in the back.
We play Giallos all the time, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, Devin, listen to some Giallos. That's some very awesome alternative.
Yeah,
That's,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
You guys like alternative? Listen to Giallos.
I wouldn't
and they've
even
got
consider it
excellent vision.
alternative. I'd consider them their own kind of thing.
Yeah,
Honestly,
no, they
you
are.
know,
They're all.
They impress the hell out of me.
For sure. Every time I listen to them, it's like, wow. These
I
guys
played
are
with
awesome.
them for a little while.
Did you?
I just didn't. I couldn't keep on playing with them and doing everything else.
Right.
It was kind of a fill in the moment, but
Yeah.
they wanted me to stick around, and it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I felt bad because I was like,
Well, you were on the live version with the Fear Factory thing.
Factory of Fear. Yeah.
Because we played a couple version of their tracks on the show here,
Yeah.
and Devin told me that it was you
Yep.
and Ronnebeck
Yeah.
who were associated with
On one of
that.
the
And
nights,
I didn't
yeah.
know. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
there was 2 nights, and Joe was on one of the nights, and then I believe Andrew was on the other night.
That's cool.
Because it was a 2-night thing that they kind of mixed all together. And let me tell you, I didn't know how that was going to come together, but that was a blast.
It was
I
awesome.
bet, man. I
So,
bet.
you know, Giallos is doing really cool things, guys.
sure.
There's a lot of really cool talent in this town. I didn't get to the boys in Pittsburgh,
The
but
Quad
you
Cities
guys
gets
just
a
saw
bad
them
rap
last
for local
week,
music,
so
and there's so much
We
talent
play
out
them
there.
all the time.
There's so
there's
much
great
good
things
stuff out
going on in
there.
this
Yes,
town,
there
and there's a few. I could have touched on a lot of things tonight, but I just wanted people to know that you know, we have a really strong scene around here, and I hope to get back to music here at some point soon.
I think that's
I think
coming.
we will.
We're coming.
Things are starting to open back up, and
I'm coming.
thank God. You know, thank God for that, because we need music in our
We
lives,
do.
all of us.
It's very
And,
important.
You know, whether it's seeing a cover band at a bar while you're having a couple beers, or
People
going
can-
to a show of local
You're so
music,
right.
whatever. You know,
People
It
can
doesn't
rely
matter.
on
Right.
YouTube and social media and all these things as much as they want, but at the end of the day, we cannot remove ourselves from our natural being.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, whether you want to accept it or not, music drives us.
Most
It
definitely.
drives every human being. It drives the rhythm, the soul,
Yep.
the everything, and you cannot take that away from anything. So
For sure.
keep it going.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. And in the local scene, you support your local bands. I know I'm not a local musician, but I'm so thankful you guys have me out here tonight.
You're part of the scene, though.
But
you are part of the scene.
You're Dead Ginger's roadie, so
hey,
well, yeah.
Hey, this guy, he's part of the scene. He goes to the shows. He's there.
Sean, when you're at a band's show, you just say, "Hey, I'm Dead Ginger's bitch."
Yeah.
You just raise your hand and say that.
I'm like the Monica Lewinsky of music.
And I want to give a shout out to people. If I can give a couple local shout outs.
I don't even want to know on that.
Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, let's give a couple local shout outs. I'm going to jump back into the music here. And
You
we'll
got
wrap
it,
the
right.
show up.
I'd like to just give a quick shout out to Jason Paris. You do incredible things for this town, man. And
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
I shouldn't say nobody. I think a lot of people realize this because we're not getting to do anything right now, and you've done a lot of things for this town.
Well, I think you should, just for the people who don't know it, we should name drop other local establishments. We're talking Wake Brewing,
Yeah.
Ribco, Rock Island Brewing Company.
Yep. Yes.
All these local
Yes.
companies that are bringing in all this talent. We obviously have what's the one in East Moline that
Rascals.
no the new the big place out there.
The Rust Belt.
Rust Belt,
Yeah.
duh.
Yep.
Obviously,
we're trying to build a scene
Rascals
around
is
here.
only-
in that
the
sense.
fact is though that you have these local guys who are making this huge impact on the music community around here, and I think it's something that should not be left unsaid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Because the Quad Cities has so much talent, but it gets this rap
Yep.
where there's just nothing going. The music scene's dead.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing. No, it's not true.
You know
It's
what
not
though?
true.
I lived down in Clearwater, Tampa area for a couple of years, and I played more music down there than I ever played in my life, and played with several different bands and whatever. But everybody always said whenever you'd go to band practice or whatever, oh, the music scene's dead down here. The music scene's dead down here.
No, it's not.
There's live music every freaking
Everywhere.
night there,
Everywhere.
you know, and that's how it was back then, and that's how the Quad Cities has always kind of been too.
Music,
no matter where,
music
you'll
unites
always
people.
find you'll always find live music throughout the Quad Cities.
And I want to say
It doesn't
something,
matter
too.
whether it's rap or rock or country or any of these styles of music.
Yep.
Music unites people
For sure.
And through this last year that we've been dealing with all this negative and everything and political environment and everything like that, music is that one driving force that can bring everybody together.
sure.
You can get 30 people that have different political views and this and that and listen to a song and they'll all love it.
Yep.
You know, and that's just something that I think, you know, anybody listening to my voice right now, that we all have more in common than we do different.
For sure.
And just let all the BS go aside, you know?
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
And on top of that, I want to say, I opened up this segment with saying, you know, you guys asked me, you know, where did this come from? You know, what started this? You know, It started as a practice that turned into something, but this all stems from my love for music as a child. And honestly, it's very important for everybody that's young, if you're listening to this, or especially people that are my age. I'm in my mid-30s, 20s, whatever. It's never too late to follow your dream.
Or too early.
And honestly, you have to have a dream. Like, it doesn't have to be music, but whatever the case being, like what I do, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I look back to the past for a lot of the things I do because it's the very importance of what is created, what we have.
Yep.
You're just like an author. You're a storyteller.
You can't forget the past. I mean, I feel like it's becoming, honestly, something that you have to remember.
People don't want to think about that right
the
now.
greatness that came at that time.
Yeah.
Think
came
about the
from somewhere.
technology that we live with now and what people didn't have
Oh yeah,
when
absolutely.
they were finding all that greatness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why did they find that greatness?
Because they weren't
didn't
worried
have
ab-
that technology.
Yeah, they weren't on their Facebooks and their Twitters.
Listen, guys.
They were
listen
following
to my
their heart.
album. Listen to other people's albums. Find something you like and find admiration
I
because
agree.
it's very important
100%.
for the future.
And don't get swallowed up by all the crap that you see and hear.
I'm not self-gloating myself. I'm not self-gloating anything. I'm just saying you can find admiration behind anything you like.
Yep.
And
You
stick
can like
with
what
it
I
and
do
run with
if
it.
you choose to like it. What I do comes from admiration from things I grew up loving. The Alien, Predator.
Predators in Fortnite
I love
now.
Predator is one of my favorite things all time. Franchises.
You are one
Terminator, Pantera, Meshuggah, Alice in Chains.
Oh yeah. All of it.
Red Hot Chili
combined,
Peppers,
man.
old school 80s.
All of it's
New wave
influential.
80s. Rat. Come on. There's all kinds of things in the mix here.
Yeah, for sure.
Things that drove me. Genesis, that gave me inspiration. Sports even. You can look to old sports superstars. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird.
It doesn't matter. The
going
point
earlier.
is,
The
the
number
point is
93.
always strive for more.
Yeah.
Guys
Guys
and don't
that
be
work
afraid to
to
live
make-
your dream and do exactly what you want to do in
Yeah,
life.
it's important to find things that influence you and then use that to your advantage.
I think music is losing its grip on society and how it used to be such a driving force.
Yeah.
And nowadays, and I don't mean to say anything negative about new music, but I feel like we're losing our touch with the inside effect of music. What music was created to provide is losing its touch with society.
I will agree with that.
And now
So using its touch, the mainstream.
Let me tell you, I have nothing
music
to
is
sing
doing
about.
that.
Yeah,
Now, that's
I'd
only
sing.
mainstream.
I know,
That's only
but
mainstream.
I would sing, but I have nothing to sing about people.
Deep down,
so I
deep
use
down
it in
with
the music.
scene,
That's where
we're
it
lucky
is.
enough to have guests like Dead Ginger and his brother on the show. These guys are awesome.
so many local artists.
Huge deep thought tonight and creativity and where your influence comes from.
For sure.
And we love the Quad Cities.
And we
And
all
we love
the
you
Quad
guys.
Cities.
We
And
appreciate
love
you guys for
too.
having us out here.
We love
tonight.
you guys too.
Knuckles
Thank
on
you
that
for coming
one.
on.
On the
Thank
camera,
you
let's
for
get
coming
that.
on the local stage, brother.
We
Got
appreciate it. What
Later
is
on.
Hey,
this
guys.
last tune we're going to be playing, guys?
This is a song by Bryan Bogatz, one of my best friends, the guy I jam
Awesome
with, the guy that I
guy.
talked
Super
about to start
awesome
the
guy.
segment with, and this song is incredible. It's all him on this one. Like I said, I used to jam it with him, but he created this
Machete.
masterpiece. It's called Machete.
Machete.
8-bit, Nintendo style. I love you. You better have a good night, and you better watch Wayne's World. Otherwise, somebody might come out and get you.
Brian Bogatz. Machete.
All right. That was Dead Ginger, who turned into Crazy Ginger.
Right here on the local stage. Thanks for joining your favorite show in the Quad Cities. I'm Trevor Goodall.
I'm Thad Shoemaker.
Peace.
Peace.
Good night.